Wonderful. So we have Sharnay here today, my beautiful girl Sharnay, and she is going to dive into the North Vision, the North Star vision, and really like living in alignment, true alignment with what values and beliefs that are true to you. So I'm going to invite her in. She is, as we all know, a woman and she has an enagic business as well. She's moving to Africa in 12 days, and this business allows her to be present with her little boy and be a present mama, wife almost, partner, all of those things. So I'm going to get her in here. She's going to introduce herself and then dive deep into this training. So welcome, my love.
Thank you so much, Lucy. And thank you, ladies. Like, I'm a generator, so if you are present and we can get like fluid going, like fluid conversation in the chat, I would so love that because it just helps to keep things alive and active and passing electrons like our waters. But ko wai ko Sharnay tuku ingoa. I'm based here in New Zealand, Wellington. I have been in the Enagic space for just over a year and a half now. I'm really landing and finding my feet within these past like 6 months. And since so much changes, as you probably all know, when you actually take a leap and then you continue to take more and more leaps. And that leap has literally led my family and I to move to Africa for 5 months with my partner's family and go and soak up all of their indigenous knowledge, wisdom, and way of living. And that's something that I'm really, really passionate about. And actually, that's the lens that I show this business through is my indigenous lens of reclamation of finances, of freeing oneself from all systems and all victim consciousness and really liberating ourselves to actually take radical action and responsibility over our life. And this business does that for us, with all of us. So it doesn't matter where you are in your business, knowing and anchoring in that truth of, okay, you saw the vision, and that's what we'll be diving into today as well. Will be able to support you to actually manifest and materialize those goals and the finances and the impact and all of those things. So I'm gonna share my screen. If I can, my love, I have a few little slides to share with you guys and just be very, yeah, this is all the tech is ticking sometimes, so just give me space and I'll get there. But I just before I open my screen, you're not late, darling. You're perfectly on time. Beautiful. Here we go. Okay. You're welcome. You're... Okay, can we see that? Yeah, we can see that.
I can see it, babe.
Cool. All right. And let's just go. Sorry, fam, just moving all the parts. All right. Let's start. Can you see? Yay. All right, before I dive in, I'd really just like for us all to really sink in, and it's something really beautiful that happens as women. When we're in proximity with one another, we sink in our cycles, we sink in our breath, and so yeah, just take us in there. If we can just do a deep, beautiful inhale, and then just let all of that air out of your mouth, all of it out, all of it out. One more, one more. And a big just landing here. Thank you guys so much for having me in this space. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share with you guys. And today, what we're really going to be diving into is navigating the living waters, right? Navigating a magic, navigating our emotional water body, our emotional waters, navigating life because life ain't just some beautiful flat sunset reflecting the ocean, all of the things. It's actually, it can be crazy out here. And when we are able to navigate and lead ourselves through that, that is when true beauty and true success can come. And so my intention is exactly that. My intention is to just share my wisdom, share my essence of what it is that I've learned through magic, what it is that I've learned in this journey of life, and hopefully some codes and some drops that can really support you. And one thing that I really love that I've been doing in my mentorship that my mentors showed me is that if something really lands for you, drop drink in the chat and we'll all cheers. Like we'll all have a little drinking game with one another. So if you've got your water and something really just hits, like on that cellular level, then we'll drink together and we'll cheers because that's the party vibes. And that may also happen because the light is we're just navigating right now. Okay. It might just be like that for now. That's cool. So yeah, my intention is really just to share my wisdom, share my magic, and all of that beautiful stuff. Yeah, I love that, eh? I love like, yeah, it gets me excited. Like, because we're getting hydrated and we're getting wet with one another, and it's cool. It's cool. And so I just firstly want to honor everyone because obviously I'm here in New Zealand and a big part of my mission and who I am as an Indigenous woman is to honor all lands, all ancestors, all lineages, all elevated 2.9 ancestors for everyone that's in this space because it's a divine constellation to have all of us gather together and share. And that's something really beautiful about Enagic is that there's no odds or coincidences with the alignments that happen. So I'm just really honoring every single person that's in this space or catching the recording for where you've come from, where you've journeyed from, where your ancestors have journeyed from, because it's all those stories that really make you you and really are gonna support you to actually go to where you're wanting to go as well. And so this is really where I want to start because it actually takes true courage and true deep diving into oneself to even start this business, right? And so question, right? If you're willing to take this leap into this business, take this leap into your life and really 10x your life, you've had to ask yourself some deep questions because you go internally to quest within, quest with your shadows, quest with societal's projections, quest with limiting beliefs, quest with all of these things. And this is a really beautiful philosophy to also propel your business. So, for content creation, for example, asking your heart and asking your body, water body, what is it that I want to share today? What is on my heart today? What is it that I'm moving through that could actually support someone? Drop a one if you're guilty of like asking chat before asking your heart. It can be really easy. That's so me. I can just ask chat and actually neglect the fact that we've got a left and a right brain. And in our right brain, it is completely connected to spirit, to God, to source, fill in the blank. And so, usually, when we can actually ask ourselves a question, the alignment that can come into your life, the alignment that a person can come into your life and ask you a question, maybe i.e., business, water, will truly change your life. And it's about recognizing, am I utilizing these tools or these tools utilizing me, especially with chat. So that's just something that I wanted to drop into your field because as us as women, it can be really easy to try and find shortcuts. But remembering that when we ask ourselves the question, we are empowering ourselves. We are trusting ourselves more and more. We are building a connection with our upline. And that is inherently going to bleed and ripple into everything that we do and share. And so, again, it's in the depth of your questions you ask yourself and others that'll illuminate the depth of you. Drop a drop a two if you have received the advice of like anyone that starts following you, just start a conversation. And obviously, because you're the lead, right? What is the depth of questions that you're asking? Is it surface? Are you really aware that you feel kind of like, oh, I'm trying to maybe get something out of this? Are you willing to really deep dive with this person and actually drop all of your personas and identifications? Are you able to drop a magic at the door when you go into this conversation and meet this person heart to heart? And this is something that I've had to actually work through because we see on the other side a solution, and it can be really easy to push and to just want people to see it and just jump in onto the other side of this business. But really, again, coming back to that quest of us, of our journey, it's like, okay, how can I ask someone a deeper question as opposed to how are you or what do you do for work? One thing that I love to ask as an example is what's been lighting your heart up this year? And just going straight there, like going straight into the depths. Because then now you're pulling up more information. Now you're building trust. Now you're building trust with yourself and you're holding posture. And that's something that's so important and crucial in this business is to hold that posture that you're leading the conversation and you're not just deflating it with surface level because people can feel that. People can feel all of that energy. All of the juicy stuff. Drop A1 if you know about the North Star. Oh, the North Star gets me so excited. The North Star, the Polaris, it's directly in alignment with the North Pole, and this constellation doesn't move. So every single other star rotates with the Earth's movement, but the North Star stays exactly where it is, and every night you shall be able to see it. And I feel that's a beautiful analogy and metaphor for I have a deep belief that every single human has got a design and a blueprint that we are our own North Star, we are our own compass, and we are seeking the light and we are trying to navigate our way through this world to get to our North Star. And this is something that I really want to share with you guys here today is how we can align ourselves with that so that we can actually feel fulfilled on our journey, especially integrating this with business, integrating this with life, with all of the currents of life, with your personal life, with your own evolutions, and being able to actually feel into what does it feel like to have my North Star. Just drop in the comments like some ideas if you even a yes or no if you know or have somewhat of an inkling of what your North Star may be here on this earth. Your North Star is within you, a lighthouse guiding you back home to alignment, your soul's mission and offerings you're here to gift the world and humanity. Who, when they first saw this business outside of just finances, saw a way. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's so okay to not know. That's the part of the journey. Because if we knew, there's no journey, right? There's no journey. And we'll be talking about I'll dive into a few things around how misalignment and how misalignment can actually support us to go back into alignment with our North Star. Who, when you first started this, yeah, 100%. When you started this business, saw the finances and then also saw how they could actually impact more people and how they could actually offer and have more space and time to offer what they actually truly want to serve to this world. That was the first vision that I received before I had spent and invested $20,000 into this business. And it's exactly that vision that propels me every single day to show up every single day. It's exactly that vision. And the more that I show up, even when it gets blurred, even when I'm asking for more of an expansion, it was always about giving back. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And do you feel like you're finding more ways, Sheree, of giving back because you're in this position? Maybe even it's not financially, but your mind is now finding ways on how you can be in service as opposed to being in consumerism or survival and, not projecting those things onto you, but I can definitely relate to that because it was this business that actually showed me, whoa, I'm here to serve. I am here to serve. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Oh, did I just skip? Oh, no. Okay. And so this is where I want to really talk about lead hership. Who has felt a bit of imposter syndrome to lead a community or lead a team or lead other people in this business? Because that was me. I felt this real student teacher. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not at this level. I'm not at that level to be able to lead people. What? You being a couple of steps, investing into this business, showing up every day, every single day, is you leading your ship. It's in the word leadership, lead her ship. When you are willing to lead your own ship, your own body, your own mind, your own vision. Come on now. That's that Leo full moon. That's that Leo full moon. I've been feeling that too. I'm like feeling really in my power and then also have this like anxiety in my gut. And it's just really interesting contrast to move between the two. But when you can actually own that you're the main character, not your parents, not your children even, you are the one that's leading your life. And ultimately, you're the one that's feeling how your ship feels by how you lead. You call back all of your power. It's not your job leading your life or your ship. It's not your kids. It's not a magic. It's you. And that is such a powerful place. And I just want to remind you of your power as your own leader because we as women have been taught to give our power away to so many people and places and things. And then that victim consciousness, those spirals of waiting can happen. And we just got to call that shit out right here, right now. Because ultimately, the results, the finances, the income, all of these things come from you consistently leading your ship. And that doesn't look like sending 10 messages out every single day. No, that looks like you putting your feet out on the earth. It looks like you staying hydrated. It looks like you looking after your ship. First and foremost, right? It's the first it's the first anchor point of Enagic's philosophy is physical health. Drop a 4 if you feel like when you started this business, you saw how you could improve on your physical well-being and looking after yourself through these waters. One thing here is that you carry the map. All right, you carry a solution. So I'm kind of weaving in a few things here with this analogy of leading her ship. You carry the map. You carry the solution. So when you can hold posture and power and the fact that you have a vehicle literally in your water bottle or in your tap water, hello, confirmation, you can hold posture in the knowing that you are also here to support other people in finding that solution and guiding them. And by you showing up every single day, I'm on a 90-day run, and I want to tell you the amount of people that are keeping up with my stories, that are replying to me, I'm literally calling in because it's the power of when you show up consistently. I'm building trust with them. I know that there's a lot of conversations in the Twix space where it's like, show them your daily walk that you go on. And I love those ideals. But when you can really show them the intricate parts of you, for example, for me, it's me going to the gym. Like I've literally shown on my story almost every single day since starting this 90 days, and I'm 5 weeks deep, how consistent I am and the amount of conversations this has started up, the amount of trust that I can feel in my community this is built. It's actually me showing them how I can lead myself and how they can entrust, not just feel inspired, but entrust that I am a mentor for me so that if they were to ever start a business, they can also entrust in me. It's a really beautiful way. If you care about drop a two, if you like cook nourishing food, if you buy organic produce, all the things, I know that's really up Lucy's alley and we just align on a values level with that. But if that's something that you do for your family, how can you show that to your people every single day that you cook nourishing food every single day for your kids? And that's building trust of who you are because it's value led. Another thing here is as well is because you hold the solution, you have to hold that posture in your sales process. You carry the map. I have done it so much where I have, that whole thing around being friend zoned. I've actually incorporated a new thing in my business recently where I am looking to disqualify. And this is me protecting my energy and my boundaries because one of the biggest things that leads to stress for a woman is not knowing if there's a close to a relationship, to a sale, and something just going in a loop. And I've had this with hundreds of women. Real vulnerable drop right now. Hundreds of women I've had like open-ended, okay, are they starting? They may be starting in a month, they may be starting next year, they may be starting in 10 years, and not knowing. And so me holding my posture, me remembering that I'm the one that carries the map, because I'm leading myself. I carry the map on where I'm going. Now I can actually call back my energy and I literally say to them, hey, look, I don't think that this business is for you. I haven't heard from you in months, and this business requires open, honest communication. And I want to be able to actually pour into people that prioritize themselves and that show up and just communicate. And I'm looking to get a no. I'm literally looking for them to go, no, thanks. This is not for me. So that I can now call back my energy. I'm not leaking my energy and I'm holding posture in my conversations, not going and getting, yeah, boom, cut the fucking cord, cut it. Because remember, the power of you holding the map, they are not, they are not the gold. They are gold because they are beautifully designed and created and they are godlike. But this is about you leading your ship and not leaking out, not having all of these holes in your ship, trying to bring everyone on, having that real hero. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And it's really powerful. And then you actually get to again hold posture and it doesn't feel like it's heavy. Like drop a one if you've had a lead, a hot lead, boom. Drop a one if you've had a lead. I needed that. Thank you, Lucy. If you've had a lead so hot and you can just feel like, oh my God, this is going to 10x for this person. We are going to create magic. This is a runner in business. And then they've ghosted or something's happened or their husband said no. So now they know, or their friend said it's a scam. And how exactly? And how draining and energetically pulling is that feeling because you've poured so much time and energy into them? I've felt this, and this has been a real huge lesson. That's why I'm wanting to share this right now because I've been there. This is really real. When you can go into conversations holding the posture, remembering you have the solution, you don't need it's that fine balance of not being a bitch, but lovingly actually saying, is this for you? I'm actually only prioritizing conversations with people that are a 10 that want to change their life. So if that's not for you and you're happy with where you're at or you've found a solution, that's so cool. Like, bless you and leave it there. And actually, that sort of conversation, you'll watch these people actually be like, oh no, actually, I am. Like, I actually am keen, as opposed to chasing and being really kind and not trying to just say the nice thing. This is about us holding posture and really calling back our energy, fam, because it gets draining. And ultimately, that can deplete how you lead your life, how you lead your business, and how you feel on your ship and how you feel on your mission. And We don't need that. We can just cut it, leave it, and ultimately know that that person has actually lost out on a really amazing and life-changing opportunity. And so going back to here, right? Misalignment feels like shit because it's telling you to get back on course with your North Star. And actually I love the shadow. I'm a Scorpio sun. And I love how the shadow, how misalignment, how when you feel meh, how you feel off is not a bad thing. Like we need to get this good and bad out of our vocabulary because misalignment is literally showing, okay, if we lean a little bit too much that way, if I end up getting in a doom scroll and then go to sleep at 11 and try to wake up at 5 and now I'm sleeping in 7, I'm misaligned. I feel like shit. And now I know where I can actually come back into center and get back on my mission. And so I'm wanting to just extend this sort of perspective shift to you because let's face it, right? The ebbs and flows are real. Misalignment is more common than not. Feeling all happy, feeling all love and rainbows, especially when you're on a mission, especially when you're in this sort of business, when it's energy, you're going to feel misalignment all the time. You are. And then it like drop a one if you felt like you've felt misaligned or meh, and then you're like, nah, I don't want to. I'm not gonna show up on my stories, or I'm not gonna make a post, or I'm not gonna. I don't want my energy to feel yuck on. I don't want people to feel that. That's so. I can relate. I can relate to that. And I guess what I want to switch here is like owning that, like being really raw. Not falling in victimhood, but how can you actually share the misalignments? How can you story tell around something that you've gone through? How can you story tell around how it's really fucking hard as a full-time mom? Or it's really fucking hard showing up to a place? Yeah. How liberating that feels to like show up in the rawness of like misalignment is very common. But it's a beautiful thing because it's helping us to align us back into alignment with our North Star. And so, like any human designers up in here? Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so annoying, but we're just adapting. It's cool. Maybe I'll just do my light. Oh, that's so hoary. I love human design. Honestly, any sort of modality that we can utilize to be able to really support and see us. And I wanted to drop this in here because I thought it was really a really beautiful way to actually detach the emotion from our misalignment and that concept of our not self. Because usually, especially in this business, we are wanting to show up in full power and full energy. And the not self is a really beautiful way to feel, okay, where am I at? Am I feeling like I'm pushing? Am I feeling like I'm trying to show up in ways that it's not me? And again, wanting to come back to equilibrium. So, who's a generator in the house? I'm a generator. Let me try and sort this out while we're having chats. I know you're a reflector, is it loose? Manny Jen, oh, you're a projector. Oh my gosh, this business is so fucking perfect for you. Like it is and then it's not, right? Many gens. We got a many gens. Cool. Yeah, so you can relate to, right, that frustration. When you're feeling that frustration, maybe you've made a post and there's no traction, or you've put a call to action. Yeah, 100. It keeps me so accountable. Or you're feeling anger and your relationship, or you're seeing yourself get into these loops. It's like, how can you lovingly identify, where am I feeling unfulfilled? Where am I feeling like I'm not prioritizing my joy? Where am I feeling like I'm getting off in alignment with my vision? Because usually, again, another key with our North Star is that it's usually around, it's connected to our inner child so beautifully. And it's connected to that really innocent play, joy, screaming rage, authenticity, nature. And I just wanted to put these because I feel, again, these are actually flags on our journey of, okay, where can I come back to alignment? Right? Mind as your master. Just drop a M if your mind starting this business started just going off and off and off and off and off and off a lot more quicker than pre this business because I experienced that. And I really struggled with that. My mind was coming up with content ideas, was coming up with all these sorts of like great ideas, but my mind, if I didn't if I didn't fill in my five senses, and this is a huge drop, you need to fill in your five senses with things that are going to uplift you and keep you in alignment with your North Star. So podcasts, high vibrational music, high vibrational food, everything high vibrational. Because the mind can leech and latch onto lack and attack, lack and attack, lack and attack. Right? Another not self is that pushing feeling. I had to really ask myself, I felt like I was pushing my masterclass. Had to get real. Do I actually not even want to do my masterclass? Even though I've put it out there, I've done it all. And that's me being really real with myself. Because pushing again, everything is energy. We can feel this, right? A lack of somatic. This meaning, can you hold it? Do you feel like you have the capacity to hold what it is you're calling in? Do you literally need to go and shake your body or go and like rub your head or go and put your feet on the earth or connect in with our body? That is a not self. I know that when I'm really tense, and if you're a mom and you'll find your shoulders like creeping up to your head like this, it's the somatics being like, there's a lot. There's a lot of that not self that you're holding that needs to be released. Comparison. I know when I'm in my not self, I start to compare and start to look at other people that are in this network marketing business. And that is my not self that comes through and that tries to sabotage. And again, it's not shame, blame, and feeling guilt, even though that's going to come up. It's literally going to come up. But it's lovingly calling yourself out and lovingly calling yourself forward. So if I catch myself, I'm like, okay, I'm comparing myself right now. I'm stuck in a loop of scrolling. I love you. What do you need? Right? Quest iron. We're returning back to the question. We're returning back to how can we deeply connect with ourselves so that we can get out of these not selves in a quicker time frame. Because you could be sitting in it for a little bit, but how can we shorten down the time of how when it starts and how long it continues? And the more and more that you start to ask yourself these questions and allow spirit and your highest self to come through, the gap's going to start to close out. And it's really beautiful. Again, you're building trust with yourself. You're building really loving communications with yourself and not shaming and guilting. Because I know it's so easy as women to just jump into those. And this business calls forth a lot of the shadows of that energy. This business is such a like energetic game. It's so interesting. And devotion through big emotion, right? I heard recently from my mentor that it's devotion that builds legacy. It is your devotion every day. Every day, it is your devotion showing up for you, pouring into a vision that only you have been anointed with and gifted. That you are literally, it is your obligation. I know that word's really masculine, but it's like your obligation. And so there's a few little key pointers that I've really lent on and that may be of service to you. Drop it too if you've got a bounce back protocol, or have you just kind of like fallen into like a little, a little like I'm not doing business right now. Like life's kind of, big emotions. I'm going through some big energies. So I'm just not going to show up in my business and just nah, it's okay. I can flow with these. I'm in my winter. Even this one, I'm in my winter, so I'm just not gonna like show up in my business and become a become a victim to our cycle. Okay, we need to build a bounce back protocol. What have we got? Yeah. Am I lovingly calling you out? And I call myself out all the time, so it's with love. Yeah. So, uh, like, there's different bounce back protocols, and it needs to be in the moment, right? So, for example, you could fall into I love the thing around just like posting, right? Because sometimes Needing a bounce back protocol. Yeah. Sometimes say that you're going through a really big thing, or say that you're even in a winter and you haven't set up a system where you can just schedule posts. You've got the whole week of posting ready to go. And now you're just being a victim to your cycle and you're like, oh no, we're just gonna yin, just gonna go and lay down and I'm bleeding now. Like, yes, beautiful, lovingly, like respect the again, somatics, but also we've got missions to accomplish. We've got a ship to lead. We've got visions to bring forth. We've got finances to bring into the bank to support our family. We've got real shit to do, right? So a bounce back protocol that I love is a 5 second rule. You need to do the dishes, you need to make that post, you need to respond to those messages. And again, put boundaries on this, but it's just a protocol. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go and do it. If I need to get up in the morning and my alarm's gone off and my 2x identity comes in, it's like, oh, nah, like you fed sun all night. It's all good. Like you're all good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If it's getting up and just shaking, if it's going outside and putting your feet, it needs to be in the moment so that you can actually remind yourself of your why. If you feel like you're falling into a lack loop or, falling into whatever spiral it is that you know yourself to fall into as a default, bounce back protocol. If that's even putting on a podcast, sometimes if I can feel my mind going into spirals, into downward spirals, I'll put a podcast on, go outside, go for a walk. And that helps to lift my energy up because these are big emotions that we go through. Yeah, so it's so transformative and psychological flexibility. Drop a why if you know what this is. This is honestly, this is a life game. This is life changing, to be honest. Psychological flexibility is something that I've recently learned and 10x is better than 2x and 10x is easier than 2x. I can give you a real life example of today. I went out for a cacao with my son, all lovely and beautiful, put him in the car. He had the keys and he locked me out of the car and he had the keys in the car and he was locked in the car. Psychological flexibility is how quick can we bounce back? How quick can we actually just see that our life and us, we're context and we're not the content? Like we are not our life. We're living our life. We're experiencing our life. How can we zoom out and actually go, all right, what is the solution? How can we zoom out and hold the flexibility and go, show me the solution? Because this is how, when we see entrepreneurs know how to bounce back. They go through real life shit. We see it all the time in Twig. Real life death, pain, health crises, and this ability to bounce back, to not sit in it, to not dwell. This is called psychological flexibility. And it's knowing that you're going through the big things, but you're not the big thing. It's knowing that the content of the big emotion is something that you're experiencing, but you're not the big emotion. So in the moment of today, I felt my 2x self like kind of wanting to panic to create this drama of like, oh my gosh, like my son's stuck in the car. And I remembered this and I held the somatics of a regulated nervous system. I know that it can just be chucked around so much, but I literally felt in my body, I'm safe. There's a solution. It may take a little bit longer. I've got a few solutions and just getting straight into solution based. And this builds so much trust with the self when we've been taught to give our trust and our power away to everyone. So if there's anything that I want you guys to take away, it's literally this. Build a bounce back protocol so that you can always bounce back and not fall into loops, into spirals for weeks, for months. And then, oh, I haven't like started my business a year ago and haven't done anything in it. And it's like, well, that's beautiful, but what about your vision? What about your why? Does it not matter? Faith over fear. Drop an F if this business has called forth all of your fears and asked you, what about your North Star? What do you mean, what about your North Star? Happy 8:44 too is on my time as well. Faith over fear. This has been something that exactly your North Star is your truth, right? Your North Star is literally your truth. And that's what I'm meaning. It's like, how can you have psychological flexibility? How can you have a bounce back protocol so that you can get out of that North South that usually takes you away from your truth? Because the spirals and those loops aren't our truth. They're just experiences that we go through. I love the saying, in doubt, zoom out and let nature hold you. Right? Big emotions. We have big missions that we're here to do. Go put your feet out on the earth every single day. These waters are electron giving to our cells, and so does the earth. You putting your feet on the earth is passing ions through your body and literally passing you electrons, just like these waters teach us. It's so beautiful. Posture. I know I've spoken to it before as well, but this is something that I'm really wanting you to just anchor into. This business is all about posture. And I've been there. I've friend zoned a lot of leads, and they've just become really great friends and followed me on my Instagram stories. But remembering that you are on your mission, aligned with your North Star, and you hold the map literally. Two ways on how people can radically change their health and their life. Holding that posture in your conversation and your content is going to portray and build that trust with you that you are your leader. Again, sorry, the flow's a little bit out, but leads are not the prize. You have the map to freedom. And so this is really where I want to talk about how we can actually align our life through our DMOs with our eternal compass. Drop a two if you know about kind of like your internal compass, your navigational compass. It's governed by our values. And I'm a big believer that we all have very unique and specific values. Drop a two if you also have asked yourself before, like, what are my values? Like, what do I actually value in life? Like, oh, freedom, oh, authenticity, all of these, cute words to chuck around. But I had to get really real with myself. Yeah, I had to get really fucking real with myself that I didn't even know what my values were. Because it's easy to chuck these words around. Same, babe. Same. And it's especially becoming a mother and questioning values that have been passed through your lineage or normalized in your upbringing and going, do I even value that? Is that even a value that's embodied in my family? And I want you, again, right? These are encoded in us. And this is, I'm just going to lead us through a real quick, it's not like dropping in and doing meditation, all this sort of flow, journal flow, but I want you to actually get information around what your values are. So this kind of came through and I was like, okay, it's kind of cute and all that. But again, right, our compass, our values are also aligned with the seasons, are also aligned with our internal seasons. And I thought that this was really beautiful because it can also help us with content. It can help us with how we're feeling and really tuning in with where we are at in our actual life because everyone is going to be different, right? Everyone is at a different North Star, North angle, East angle, and feeling into where you are. Like, for example, for me right now, I'm literally in my ovulational, like I'm so wet and horny right now, like not in this, like, but just in life. And I'm really passionate and I'm really, really driven. And yes, it's summer, but I can really relate to that. And so it's like, how can I reflect that in my everyday life? Honoring my own energy and my own compass as well. We are. We it's all in our literal blood are stars that we came from, right? And so tuning in, I don't know, like drop a M if you kind of cycle sync or the idea of cycle syncing with your business is something that you really enjoy, especially with this new way of building a business and yeah, that's something that really turned me on about this business. And it's something that I'm continuously integrating into my life because we're all so masculinated. But again, these are just really beautiful, kind of actionable things that you can do to really honor where you are actually at in your body and in your life. So, right now, I'm definitely in my summer. This is me 10xing this moment, even me hosting this and sharing this as a 10x moment. It's bold. It takes action. It took me to show up. It took me to create this. But knowing on where you are, especially even in your business, did you know your business has its own season? Your business has its own cycles, its own seasons. Oh, is that a book, babe? I love the, it's a book.
It's a journal. And it's like comes with the spinning wheels as well. It's like so it's like on your
Oh my God, that is so, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wanted to drop this in because my mentor dropped this one for me and it just hit me so deeply. Your value is immeasurable. So even though we're talking about values compass, your value as a leader, as someone that is alive, as a woman, as a business owner, as a mother, as a human is immeasurable. And the only time you will measure your value is in economy. So if you have felt tall poppy syndrome, if you have felt imposter to selling high ticket, drop a one if you've felt that. Because I have. It's huge to build the somatics to sell a $20,000 investment. It is huge. But when we come back to this truth of, okay, I am in, my value is immeasurable. I am invaluable. Now I can come up and I can show up in these spaces knowing, yeah, there's prices, there's sales, there's these things. That's business. But me as a person, as an individual that comes in, you can't put a box or a number on that. And when we lead our ship, when we lead our posts, when we lead our content from this place, it is felt. It hits so deep. It hits so deeply. Please know that the drops that come through your being, the downloads, whether that's when you're having a shower, if you're a Nespa shower and you're getting that crown chakra nice and cleansed and hydrated, and all the downloads start coming down, that is immeasurable. That is actually codes and keys that could transform someone's life. It is immeasurable. So the moment that you start feeling like you're measuring your value, please know that that is business. So keep those separate, right? Show up in your business as immeasurably valuable and knowing that there is also a price to the investment. And that this has really transformed me showing up because now I'm not showing up to sales calls feeling like all icky. I'm actually showing up as knowing, fuck, me just being me is I'm the value. And on top of that, they get to transform their life with this business and these waters. And yeah, there is a price. There's a price. There's a price to everything. So this is my mantra for the rest of the year. Honestly, like I if you take it or leave it, that's all I can say. Take it or leave it. It deeply resonated with me. Values conflict creates dysregulation to our bodies and our emotions. The number one lead of stress is having values within our that is connected to our North Star and not having the actionable steps or the life that actually aligns with the values. So you say you love authenticity and yet you're showing up inauthentic online because it's again, there may be blocks, there may be so valid, but that might be creating stress in your body. That might be creating a bit of discord in your water body. You say you value even the whole thing around I always have to call myself out on this one. It's like you say you value health and conscious eating, and then I can eat like a block of chocolate. Whitaker's, and it's got like canola and all sorts of great things in it, right? That's a value conflict right there. Am I okay with that? Yeah, I've had to become okay with that. But what I really want to talk about is this values conflict. If our actions, right, you say that you value this business and yet you're not showing up in your business, or you're not sharing or speaking about it or telling people and down at the park what you do, it's creating a conflict in your body that you literally feel, and it releases the stress hormone. And I felt that. And again, it comes back and it connects with that misalignment, right? This is not a negative thing. The misalignment is showing us, okay, I may be acting from a place that is not in alignment with my North Star right now. Value. I love, there's this concept that I've read in this book, and it's asking yourself the five whys, right? So you may experience a value conflict. Why? Okay, because I didn't speak up on my truth. But why? Because I really value X, Y, and Z. But why? And you start to actually, again, deepen the question internally. And you're just uncovering layers and layers and layers and layers, going all the way back to the root of the value of the little girl, of the hurt girl, of whatever that is, to walk her back in with love. Mm, it's all bringing the unaware to the awareness, right? So yeah, we're just gonna be like quick firing. We're not trying to do drop-in meditations, all these sorts of things, but I want you to just quick fire is helping to get our right brain just kind of flowing and really actually tapping into our subconscious, because we're not trying to think about it and drop in and all of these sorts of things. So I want to kind of just quick fire, and I'll give you like 15 seconds per question. And we really want, the intention behind this is to get deeper into the value. Okay, so the first question, if you're got your pen and paper, what do I spend my money on the most? Just drop it down. Write the answer. Five, four. We'll all come back to these as well. Three, two, one. All right. What's the value that's connected to that? And you may go straight to a value. For example, mine is food for that one. I could go nourishment is a surface value. Go deeper. Why? Why nourishment? What's underneath nourishment? Or whatever that thing is. We'll go 5 more seconds. All right, next one. Where am I most disciplined in my life? 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, what is the value connected to that? You'll get the first one, and I want you to try and go two more values deeper than that. Ask why, and then ask why again. All right. What do you love to talk about the most? Quick fires. Just whatever comes through, drop it down. We'll go 10 more seconds. All right, what's the value connected to that? Five, four, three, two, one. What is something spontaneous that you'd always do? Three, two, one. The value connected to that. Again, ask yourself why. Why that value? Literally ask your right brain, which is where God sits. Why? Why? What do I spend most of my time on? and the value connected to that. 3, 2, 1. What do I love learning about? What lights you up? Jot them down. If they're coming through, just pop them down. Allow the flow to come through. And then what's the value connected to that? We're going to go a couple more questions. What qualities do I admire the most in others? And then the value. Remember, 5 whys. Why do I value that? Where did that come from? We'll go 3, 2, 1. When I feel most at peace, what am I experiencing or doing? Okay, I'm going to do one more just because I'm extra. We'll go 5, 3, 2, 1. Last one. What's one thing I want to instill in my children or future generation? What's the one thing? This is a big question. I'll give you a little bit more time. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This this is a blueprint for your North Star. Quite literally. So your truth, your design, and my belief, the way that you show up in this business, what you talk about, what you share, what your purpose is, what these are all connected to, are all what you've just written down right now. And if you can see the gaps and the gains in your life on where maybe with your parents you don't feel safe to be truthful or own your truth, as an example, how can you actually honor your value? How can you honor the North Star and actually stand a bit more in that value? Because again, these value conflicts are going to come up to just highlight, hey, you value this. Remember, you don't like that job, and yet you're not being able to move or get progress in your business, and it's creating stress and frustration in your body and literal conflict. How can you knuckle down and actually create movement, have conversations, go out in your community, impact more people, share the water? For me, when I did this exercise and I actually saw and wrote down the values, my content makes so much sense. Who I'm speaking to makes so much sense. The mission makes so much sense. And it just cuts through the noise. It just cuts through the noise. And it actually just brings you straight back to what actually matters. Yeah, it makes so much sense, right? Like, it's this light bulb that goes off. Like, fuck, this is in me. This isn't just some random stuff. And so again, like utilize what you've just received tonight with your value. I'm going to give you quite a like vulnerable share with something and how I share this business and why I share it how I do. So I told you at the beginning, right? I caught a vision of supporting Indigenous people to get out of the system, to get out of victim consciousness. Like that was what I saw. I saw them opening up centers, having a full-on tribal revival. And then I stepped into Twick, which I'm so grateful for because there's so much amazingness and just a radical, amazing woman, like all of us in this space. But there was the lens sometimes just didn't resonate. and the sort of woman that I was calling out that I was wanting to support in the webinars and the more corporate approach, it's not me. And I felt a value conflict. I felt, okay, if I was to host a webinar and I was to try and do it how I see Jess and Jay-Z do it, or all of these people do it, I feel stress in my body. I feel inauthentic. And I had to really own that and actually not make it about anyone else because they've given me the map. They showed me the map. Now I have my own map because we're on the other side. And now I can project and I can use a lens, right? This is now where we're getting into our creativity, where we can see, okay, because my value is immeasurable and how I see something is connected to my values, I can now show people on my exact lens. And that is where Mokopuna Vision was birthed. And I literally break down colonial systems in my business and how this is a solution for them to be able to reclaim their finances, reclaim their health. I speak about the cabal of the whole system, literally. The Rockefeller, the big agra, the poisoning, the contamination. I speak about all of this because it's in my direct lens and it's connected to my value. And it is fulfilling as fuck. I've tried to do the webinars about Twic. I've tried to do the low ticket, those in low ticket. It just didn't value conflict in my body instantly. And so utilize this information and continue to ask yourself the questions, ask yourself the question, ask yourself the question, so that you can now portray through your specific lens the business. And it just releases so much inauthenticity, if like that weight, right? Drop a one if you can relate to that. You're like, you see the vision, you fully accept it, you fully accept how other people do the business, but you're like, how can I do it how this feels right for me? So I'm not feeling inauthentic showing up. I really struggled with this. And I know a lot of people do. We don't talk about this at all. So I'm talking about it. Okay? This value compass in your life, in your business, is what I'm so glad. Yeah. You'll feel like you're pushing, you'll feel like you're like being all salesy, you'll feel yuck and ick and just like another another kind of what's that? It's not even there. I'm not even gonna try and force that. But it's almost like you're trying to push an agenda that's not you, right? And that is being felt. Energy is going to you people feel that. And the moment I released that and I actually had to get into aligned action, create my own webinar, create my own graphics, connect with people outside of Twic. It's also a really powerful key. Connect with other people on in the net. I really resonate with Wakewater Co. Yeah, it is liberating. And it shows you the different angles on how you can run this business. You don't even need to push quads. What about that? Right? You don't even need to push quads in your business, in your webinars. What about that? How liberating does that feel? So again, this information, this is me. This is the solution, right? Your value compass, you leading yourself every single day, showing up, building the trust in you more so, not just showing it online in the vanities, but actually you leading you and trusting that you can lead you because we've been told by teachers and fucking parents and so many other people. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for opening your heart and receiving. This has been like, I really feel this in my body. I really feel the shifts that have happened, especially doing that, the value and just aligning with that and actually being really real with what you're here to do and how this business, you don't need to be the business or be Twic or be these other figures, but you leading with your value is immeasurable. So if there's any like partai or question that you have or be me. Yeah, recently I've heard they tricked us on human being when actually we're being first and then human. And I was like, makes so much sense. But yeah, thank you so much. We'll have one last little drink with one another as we close it. I'll do a little cut of care as well. But if there's anything, then come off mute and
I want to ask you one thing, babe.
Hmm?
You mentioned that you love to like drop in with podcasts to really get you back in alignment. Do you mind sharing which ones resonate with you?
Yes. Yes. I can actually send you a whole list, but off the top of my head, specifically with the Najik, Balaj,
Hmm.
I definitely anchor into him. Know Thyself podcast, really powerful. They do a lot of more spiritual, more just energetic around, especially business ones, but just life in general. I tap into DG mindset, and a lot of these are tangible. They're really tangible and awaken the awaken podcast. So I'll send you my list because they're actually a lot more masculine now that I've just read like said those all out loud. But the teachings in them just uplift my energy and I can really feel them pour into my business and how I show up. And again, it's just filtering our mind with higher knowledge. But the key to that is also application. So even if the application looks like you sharing your podcasts online, or I did that and it was really beautiful. I had a really beautiful conversation with a lead around it was a podcast on scarcity mindset. And again, this is you being resourceful. This is you being in your values, and this is you authentically showing up and being like, look, I'm also journeying through this shit. Do you want to come along or not? Like, do you want to get in your ship and lead or not? But yeah, I'm so grateful for this, Lucy. Thank you so much for this. This has been really powerful. Um, and yeah, I'm just forever grateful for these moments to be able to stand into our power and 10x as a family.
Thank you, my darling. You have so much wisdom to share, and I love hearing you speak.
Thank you.
And I know how much I got from it, so I know how much everyone else would have got from it. I know everyone is in the middle of mum life at the moment, but if you have the capacity, if you can please come off and say thank you to Sharnay. She is also a mum and she has taken the time to be here. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, lovely.
You're most welcome. And like apply, right? Apply. Just go and
hmm
apply it.
yes, absolutely. Take what landed for you and apply. Like you can listen. And one thing I've been learning from my coach is we can listen to so many things, but if we do not implement, nothing changes. We stay where we are.
Even if it's just you literally whatever landed for you this evening and sharing that with your people to keep you accountable, you're gonna that's just another little step forward. Again,
Mm,
building trust, building confidence in oneself, leading yourself. So yeah, I'm so excited to see you all rise in your business and in your life and get rid of all the value conflict that we can experience as women and mothers of this crazy ass world and yeah, just continue to rise. So thank
mm.
you, love. Also, can you send me the recording as well? I'd love to share it and extend it with my peoples.
Absolutely. I will share it with you as soon as it lands. Yeah.
Mwah. Have a beautiful
Love to you always.
day.
Bye.